Good morning and welcome to the Friday morning little chat. This morning, the topic is going to be surrender. And generally speaking, the word surrender has a negative connotation a lot of times because you think of giving up. You think of weakness, actually, is many times associated with it. However, surrender really means acceptance. And there's a difference between just allowing, not fighting against something that what one cannot control. And that would be other people. Sometimes situations and places, doing one's best, but accepting the outcome. Surrendering to what is rather than in our hearts and in us suffering. And many times we suffer simply because we fight against, we want our own will to prevail. Whatever it is that the ego wants, we want. And if we want it, why should we not get it? And why can't life be just the way we want it to be? Well, it isn't. And so, surrendering is positive, actually. It takes a lot of courage to accept what is. Certainly if we are in a dangerous situation and we can escape that situation, it is in our best interest to do whatever is necessary. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just life on life's terms, just accepting life, accepting situations, accepting in-laws who have a certain personality and they're not going to change. And it has nothing to do with us. Accepting relatives, our own blood relatives, just the way they are. Surrendering means not pushing against. Surrendering acceptance of others. Acceptance of the fact that life isn't turning out the way you thought it would 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. You don't have what you thought you'd have. Or if you're retired, your retirement doesn't look like that which you planned. Or you don't have as much money as you thought you'd have. Any of these visions, if you hold on to, cause suffering. Life doesn't turn out the way we thought when we were younger. Life's challenges, my truth, were preordained before we incarnated. What we do with our challenges, what we do with the obstacles, what we do with anything that confronts us, we have free will. And so we can choose what we're doing with it. But our lack of acceptance leads to a lot of unnecessary suffering. Pain is inevitable. We cannot get through life without pain. We cannot get through life without loss. We cannot get through life without obstacles. We just can't. Nor can we remove those obstacles from someone else's path and think we're doing a good thing. Parenting is one thing when the kids are little, but when the kids start being able to make their own minds, they must fall. They must fail in order to grow. They have their own path too. We have ours. And so think about in which ways that we choose not to accept, in which ways we choose not to surrender, and how that lack of surrendering or that lack of acceptance is causing us to suffer. Today is Friday, and I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. Namaste.